Daniel challenges Brock Lesnar to the one and only thing that Brock Lesnar is better than him at. Okay, you have to understand, if you get stuck on a deserted island and you have to wrestle the natives for food, for your survival, you want Daniel Cormier with you. If you get stuck on a deserted island and you need to convince the natives to give you food, you want Brock Lesnar with you. This is where the master shines. And you should not just look at that piece and go, wow, that was great. You need to stand back and identify why. I will do that for you, okay? First off, Daniel thought he was having an elbow wink moment, and Daniel is so guilty of this. He does this everywhere. He will cut great promos on UFC Tonight against the host and then look over to the host while the camera's still going and give him a wink. We don't want a wink as the audience. We want to see you perform and see you captivate us and make us believe it. You will have fans in this space constantly compare these in-ring promos and stare-downs to WWE. That is an insult. The WWE is garbage. It's embarrassing and it's insulting. However, if you were to look a little bit closer, all you're talking about is a scripted promo. Every movie that you've ever seen in Hollywood is a script. People are reading lines. They don't mean it. However, the actors are so good that that we buy into it. They don't give the elbow and the wink. They are so talented and skilled at what they do that we can sit back for 2 hours and be happy, even though they're reading lines no different, trying to evoke an emotion and playing a character no different than the WWE. When it's done poorly, okay, when it's done well, we call it Hollywood. We call it a motion picture. When it's done poorly, we call it WWE. So that's why you don't want that comparison. Right? When Daniel does it, he reminds me of Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld was easily the worst actor on a very fantastic show. Jerry Seinfeld could not deliver a line with a straight face. He looked like the cat that ate the canary. It's why he's never been on TV again, and his co-stars are still going off and getting jobs. He was terrible, but he couldn't keep a straight face. He wanted to bring the audience in on it instead of just deliver the lines. That's where Daniel sits. And this isn't to insult Daniel. It is just to point out that he then brought in the master by his own doing. So when the master comes in, he is not going to elbow and wink at you. He is not going to go, oh, hey, look, here we are, and great business is just going to happen. No, it's not. It's got to be created. When Brock Lesnar walks in the ring like a monster, and Daniel's got a little smile on his face, thinking Brock's going to come over and do a face down, and then Dana is magically going to spin that into something wonderful, it's not going to happen. Brock knows it needs to be created. It needs to be created now. When he walks in the ring like a monster and shoves Daniel across the ring while he is wearing a 12-pound gold belt, the second one in his collection, he makes Daniel look a fool. That's his job. That's not a knock on Daniel. This is Brock doing Brock's job. One guy's getting the shine and one guy's not. The other reason it worked is Brock Lesnar was outnumbered 5-1. Daniel Cormier was in the ring, but so were his four cornermen. Brock Lesnar stepped into that ring alone, and he stood alone like King Kong swatting flies away. He never flinched and he never moved. Daniel's boxing coach is trying to push Brock and keep him away from him, and Brock shoos him away like a fly. The commission's trying to grab Brock and keep him away. He's shooing the commission away like a fly. This is why that moment worked. And Brock knew Daniel is going to smile and laugh. He's going to wink to the audience and ruin the moment because he's genuinely a really nice guy that's just having fun. There's something compelling and great about that. But Brock is a genuine professional who's here to make business, okay? He has to not only fool the audience, he not only has to fool the commission, fool Daniel's boxing coach, all suckers, all marked out for it. He's got 17,000 people in the arena, and he's got exponential amount of people at home. So instead of trying to dupe them all, he can encompass it real small that if I can fool you, Daniel Cormier, if I can convince you, I can make everybody else believe. And you saw it in Daniel's eye when he got shoved halfway across the ring. You saw in his eye, oh my God, I thought we were friends. I thought I just called you in here. I didn't even know if this fight's going to happen. I was trying to get you a little bit of rub, and I was trying to have a little bit of fun before I walk off and join my family and shower up and move on with my life. Brock knew the only one I have to convince here is you. And when Brock saw that look in Daniel's eye, that little bit of confusion, he knew I had him, and that meant I have everybody else. He then grabbed the microphone and he burned the house down. There is not room for two guys to elbow and wink to the audience. And it's very hard, and it's what separates the greats. But it's the same reason that the girl on a Tuesday night at the karaoke club does not need to go to Nashville. And this isn't actually a knock on Daniel as much as it may sound. Everything gets graded on a curve. Okay, had Brock Lesnar not been there that night, yeah, Daniel would have been the greatest one on the mic. He would have stolen the moment again. But it does get graded on a curve. You're compared to the person across from you. And the person he called in happened to be superior.